Hello viewers, welcome to today's tutorial. This is part one of a beginner series that will run for around 10 parts, and we're going to start from the very basic today for even somebody who is starting to learn the keyboard right away. The tutorial is going to be done in the key of C major, and that is a scale of C major, and then towards the end I'll also give a bonus and show the same concept in the key of D major, and that is and I believe from there you learn something as you begin your piano journey. So straight away into what we are doing today, we start by the formation of the scale, and I'll give a formula to this particular tutorial. If you want to form a major scale, actually, if we have our C, because this is not C, I'm right at the middle C, then the formula I'm going to give is actually applicable in all the keys, and that's why I said at the start that I'm going to demonstrate this in the key of C major. Thereafter, I can also show a little bit of it in the key of D major. So the formula is we start from our note number 1, which is the key. We also call it the tonic. Then we go to note number 2, and it is a whole tone away from the first note. Note number 3 is a whole tone away, and then note number 4 is a semitone away from the second tone. Note number 5 is a whole tone away. Number 6 is a whole tone. Number 7 is a whole tone away from 6, and then we are back to number 1 or number 8. Now, as you realize, in this scale actually, we have a whole tone intervals with only the half tones or the semitones coming between number 3 and number 4 in the scale, and finally when we finish between number 7 and number 8. Now, using that particular formula, then we can build any major scale in all the 12 keys. But now I'm going to show that in the scale of C major, where we have our note number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1. You can go back. As you realize, just to recap, number 1 to 2 is a whole tone, 2 to 3 is a whole tone, 3 to 4 is a semitone, 4 to 5 is a tone, 5 to 6 is a whole tone, 6 to 7 is a whole tone, and then 7 to 8 or back to 1 is also a whole tone. Now, the fingering for the major scale, I'll go with this fingering. So if you want to practice this scale, you realize I'm resetting the fingers at note number 3 when I'm going. And then when I'm descending, I'm resetting from the middle finger. Then the left hand. After you've practiced, now this is my best way of practicing this for those who are starting and would want to practice the scale of C major. With the fingerings I've shown, that is resetting at this. Maybe if the video is so fast, you can slow it down so that you check it keenly. And I would advocate that as you start, you stick to the correct fingering. Once you've done the right finger, the right hand, then you can also do the left hand. Then you try to combine both of them. And my advice is that when you are doing the combination, make sure you do that a little bit slowly. Just slowly. Then you can consider starting at maybe the 60 beats per minute. That is the metronome setting. And then you increase that with an interval of 10. So from 60 you go to 70. I'm actually not using the metronome right now. I'm just showing so that I don't make the tutorial a bit longer. So you've got to do that. Until you become comfortable. So that is for it on the scale of C major. Then I wanted to show a little bonus in the key of D using the same formula I've just taught here. And I said that if we take now D as our tonic or note number 1, then the same formula applies where we'll move a whole tone. So from tonic, we move a whole tone to number 2, a whole tone to number 3, a half a tone to number 4, a semitone. Then from number 4 to 5 is a whole tone, 5 to 6, whole tone, 6 to 7, a whole tone, and then 7 back to 1 is a semitone. So altogether we have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So like we did in the C, we do the same, both hands, and we try to practice it. You can stop the video, rewind the video, slow down the speed so that you can practice the scale. Today I've shown it on C major scale and D major. Now, I would advise that you do this in all the 12 keys so that you become comfortable in all the 12 keys. That will actually help us understand the subsequent parts in this particular video. Now, that is all we had for this first part of the beginner series. Remember, I said this is a series that runs into around 10 videos. So I would urge you to ensure that you watch all the parts and you can be sure that you are going to grow. If at all you've learned something from this particular first part of the beginner series, kindly like this video, share it, and if this is your first time in this channel, please, I would urge you to subscribe so that you can help me develop this channel more and more. Bye-bye. That's all we had for today. We were looking at the major scale, and the tutorial has actually covered, we have actually covered the C and the D major scales. See you in part 2 of this beginner series. Bye bye.